Okay, guys, this is the second part of what is it? Uh, for the fourth meeting, right? And then let's see what is the subject is. It's about the learning to summarize. Okay, and hold on. Let's continue the last one. It's about critical thinking, right? So your best asset for package, what you are trying to learn is your ability to think critically about the subject. Learning important subject should involve active, deliberate effort. And then thinking critically about the topic allows you to categorize it more efficiently and with more clarify. And then you get to ask question about it, clearing up any confusions, and then you get to pry deeper into the details, and finally you get to criticize the idea and see how it holds up. And then all of these activities makes the idea clearer to you and connect it to the other ideas that you already know plenty about, and then you are better able to see the main points and can summarize it accurately. And then when you take a note taking, it's not available at all, and then you have to actively engage your memory as best as you can, and then ready to ship. The ability to condense the lesson down into the clear summary is an important skill as it requires heavy mental lifting and focus. Deliberate attention done correctly, and you know these chunks of information are more easily retained and accessible for later studying or performance. Wait, I need to zoom up. Okay, to zoom up. Zoom. Okay, and it is the role of critical thinking to help clarify and categorize these chunks of information through active participation, criticizing, questioning, ruminating, and so on. This will ensure the summary and corresponding details are not only retained but properly so. And when conducting learning in this way, information gets packaged in our mental life, able to be opened up in organized way through studying or performance. Next, studying opening the package. Without repeated exposure to the material, it is unlikely that you will be able to retain the information for very long. It is important to treat your studying strategy with the same urgency as your note taking. What good is a finely wrapped gift if you never open it? Best studying method. In an earlier article, it's about the interesting. It's one of the worst was summarization. This is because summarization, as I've written here, is a top skill to learn. As a teacher, unless you spend a great deal of time teaching students how to summarize correctly, they will most likely do it poorly, hindering their learning. And then as a learner, however, you have the opportunity to improve your ability to summarize, which will greatly enhance both note taking and studying. Next, about practice testing. The study found two study method in most utilities, just like practice testing and distribute practice. And practice testing involve just what it sounds like. issuing yourself a test that looks similar to how the actual test will play out. This method is effective because it doesn't take much learning in order to do and give us a sense of how the real deal is going to play out. But unless your teacher, instructor, or coach provides you with enough information to realistically know what the text is going to look like, you may not be able to perform this method. This is why the next method remains the king of the study habits. This one, distributed practice. This study method involves using short, dispersed study session instead of few longer cram session. Typically you will start by keeping the space between your study sessions short and gradually increase the time between them as you gain mastery over the subject. And then, for instance, you get out with your in your class and with your stellar notes in hand, the lesson fresh in your mind, and later that afternoon you look over the notes again, taking time to make any additions or changes in order to make them more correct. You do this quickly, not taking much time, and then you do the same again that evening. So over time you space the study session out further, maybe once a day, then as the semester goes on 3 times a week, and then if you have keep up with it, by the time the final comes around it should be a piece of cake. Okay, so what makes distributed practice so effective? Because one theory proposed by Robert Greene explained that because the study sessions are spread out, different contextual information can help the learner encode the information as they gain more knowledge and not about the subject. And for example, you are taking a class on Plato, okay, and learn one of his works, and then you distribute the study session over time. In class you learn more about his work overall, and then of his general ideas, and then as you go back to those original notes, you do so with the added context. This allows you to get better understand that particular word through is inclusion in the whole. And then studying in this way is not only highly effective, it can be easier to accomplish and keeps you motivated. And next, it's about packaging, unpackaging, and repackaging. Continual progression of our learning involve the action of going back every once in a while to check our notes. This is true no matter what profession, study, or skill we are involved in. Sometimes you need to go back to the things that you summarized previously and recheck those details. It's just like make your memory stronger, or make you readjust your view of the topic. It also keeps you up to date and fresh, and then we package up the lesson when we come across in nicely wrapped gift so that we may utilize them later when performing. And it is through the unwrapping and rewrapping of these concepts, lessons, or skills through periodic studies periods that we gain deeper understanding by ruminating with extra contextual information. The useful summaries, it's just like we can use the information from the summary for discussion, to make point, to improve performance skill, and then however, we have to know that if pressed further, our knowledge of the details will be found scarce. Sometimes true, sometimes though, a summary is all we need. Okay, I think that's all for the summary. See you next time with the different topic.